Nothing really mattered, be only mad when my toys ran out of batteries. Now I need to watch what I eat cause it'll fatten me. Mind filled with stress, it's hard to live happily. For real, life was better when we was children, yo. Didn't know about diseases and killings, bro. Thought my house was like a fort you built with snow. Didn't know about the mortgage and the bills we owe. Grandmoms always listen when I try and speak. Parents made me happy if I had a bad kind of week. All the news, freeze tag, board games, hide and seek. Being a kid was a favorite time for me. Remember how it used to be way back in the day? Felt like nothing could stop the shine of my inner rays. Since we grew up, life ain't really been the same. All the things I would do to be a kid again.
I remember when we used to do it like before. We learned never do it again. I remember when we used to kick it like before. We learned never do it again. But if we knew what we know back then, we listen to what they said back then. But in life we all gotta learn and grow. Yeah.
As we started growing up, things began to change. Drinking and smoking replaced family games. Friends go different ways, no man's the same. Learn what hurt is, seems like no one understands my pain. Family broke up, friends passed away. Just to cope, I'd skip around a class a day. Slipped up, did drugs, man, that's a shame. Got arrested, that's a way I'll never act again. When we was younger, half my friends weren't addicts. Only worry was monkey bars and getting a turn at it. See young single parents and quickly learn that it's a tough place, not all get a fair turn at it. But as we get older, we all struggle, right? Some of us are even in and out of trouble, right? But keep your head up, it gets better on another night. It's what we learn and who we become, why I love this life.
I remember when we used to do it like before. We learned never do it again. I remember when we used to kick it like before. We learned never do it again. But if we knew what we know back then, we listen to what they said back then. But in life we all gotta learn and grow. Yeah.
If I didn't make those mistakes, would I be the same person? Spending time dissecting my mind like a brain surgeon. Time to change shirts and the place I stay ain't working. Best to leave past alone, it's how you stay a sane person. Learn from your mistakes, that's the sweetest knowledge. Life lessons are more valuable than what's seen in college. Love's worth more than money you keep in wallets. Deep down, we all seeking peace and solace. Sometimes it feels like you're haunted by the past, but it's those lessons you learn that define your ass. Had a lot of money once, so not blind by cash. Learn quick, the inside's the only shine that lasts. If I knew what I know now, would it make a difference though? Cause I made the same mistakes twice, like sniff and blow. Live life to learn and grow as an individual. Believe real status is measured by all the things you know.
I remember when we used to do